Completing the square. Many students that I have taught, it is their arch nemesis. In this video, I am going to go through everything that you need to understand for completing the square. All right, the first thing is going to be perfect square trinomials. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is our purpose of what we're trying to achieve, what we're trying to create with completing the square. So we have to be familiar with how to factor a perfect square trinomial and what is that going to give us, which is FYI going to be a binomial squared. The first thing we want to understand for perfect square trinomials is our first term has to be squared and our last term has to be squared. And you can see that is the case, like 1, 4, 9, 16, 16, right? 9 over 4. I redid that one twice. Let's change this one up to a x squared. Let's do plus 10x plus 25. Okay, change that one up. But notice these are all square numbers, okay? And then our first term is square as well. So hopefully if you think about like what two numbers multiply to give you a 1, but then add to give you your middle term, which in this case is 2, you can see that's going to be an x plus 1 times an x plus 1. Rather than writing it as plus 1 times x plus 1, we can also write it as x plus 1 quantity squared. Now notice our middle term is negative, but that's okay. Our last term is square, first term is square. What two numbers multiply to give us 2, add to give us a negative 4? Instead of plus 1 and plus 1, or instead of plus and plus, you can see it's going to be a minus 2 and a minus 2. And again, rather than writing this as x minus 2 times x minus 2, we can simply just write this as x minus 2 quantity squared. Before getting into completing the square, we want you to be very comfortable with being able to factor perfect square trinomials in your head. I don't want it to take too much work for you to be able to do this, okay? So we need some practice. And if you struggle with completing the square, then you probably struggle with some factoring as well. So make sure you get some of this foundational work ahead of time. And I'm telling you, it'll just make the process a lot easier. There are some tips that I'll have later in this video that you can kind of bypass if you're still kind of struggling with it, especially like a problem like this. Most students are not going to be able to like figure this out a lot of times, like the factoring technique. But once you kind of know the tips that I'm going to teach you, you'll be able to recognize that, oh, I can actually do this rather quickly in my head. So if you're struggling or you just want more practice with completing the square, then check out the description and for all of my resources and videos. Or if you're just looking for more quadratic type content, then check out the next video I have for you here. Cheers.